you looking for a fun new adult book that is set in college? I've got some recommendations for you, including a couple of secret societies. During a recent Novel Nights live show, I recommended these 5 books as some of my favorites for books that are set in college or books with secret societies. So I do have 2 books with secret societies, a romance one and a paranormal one, and then some amazing books that are just set in college. I have a sports romance and even one that will break your heart. So these are absolute must reads. Most of these are also on Kindle Unlimited. And now I'm just going to leave you with my recommendations from the Novel Nights live show. The first book that I'm going to recommend to you guys is Smut by Karina Haley. This is a standalone enemies to lovers romantic comedy set in college. It just recently got a revamp with this really adorable cover, so I had to put it on here just because of that. It was fresh in my mind after seeing the revamped cover reveal last week, and it is available on Kindle Unlimited. I read this book years ago, and it's basically about 2 aspiring authors that are in college. They hate each other, and they're assigned a project to write a final project together. And they do so well at writing this final project together that they decide to write an erotic romance book together and self-publish it under a pen name. As they're working on this project together, all of their own sexual tension really amps up, and it also translates into the romance that they're writing. Erotic romance is definitely not the genre that either one of them were interested in writing originally, and there was a slight little bit of them thinking, or the mentality of them thinking, that they were kind of lowering themselves to writing a genre like this that is not normally what they would gravitate towards. It does have that connotation that they're not really writing, so it's not like real writing. The heroine was actually writing a fantasy novel, so there is a little bit of that preconceived idea of what an erotic romance means in terms of quality of writing, which is a stigma that it is fought by romance authors, romance readers, and the romance publishing industry at large. But overall, you can go into this book really expecting a fun and enjoyable read. The 2 of the main characters have such amazing chemistry, both having to work together or also just getting to know each other more as they're working together. And the sexual tension is just jumping off of the pages. But they also get to help each other deal with some more serious issues in their lives, like dealing with their families. So all around, this was a really cute, adorable, sweet read, just a little bit spicy, and a great romantic comedy. The next book is actually a secret society romance book, and it's Half Truths by Claire Contreras. This is actually a series, really. I've also read book 2, but you can definitely read the first book as a standalone, and it follows the heroine, who is a journalism student, and she was going to a different college, but her closest brother suffered a major accident, and on her senior year, she moves to be closer to family and starts at a new college. Her family really wanted her to go to this college anyway, and the reason she didn't and she went somewhere else was because she was following her boyfriend, and they've since broken up. And now, because she is a journalism student, she is really interested in the stories of these young women that have gone missing. They're disappearing from the college, especially the latest victim, because she knew her basically from her high school days, and she is determined to find out what happened to her and how the secret society of the school has been involved. As you can expect with a secret society story, there is plenty of mystery and intrigue in this story. And I have to say, I probably have read way too much mystery and thrillers. It was not the biggest twist for me when it's revealed what happens in the end of the story, but that still didn't take anything away from it. I really enjoyed it. It is a very suspenseful read. It's deliciously addictive. You just don't want to put it down. And it really takes that hint of danger and twists it in with the romance, and I think the author did that really well. And Half Truths is also available on Kindle Unlimited. The next one is The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. This is the first in the Campus Diaries series. It's a spin-off of the Off-Campus series, and it is a second generation from that series. So the heroine in this book is actually the daughter of the couple, I think in book 2 or 3, if I remember correctly, from the Off-Campus. And I absolutely loved her parents. So it was a real treat to actually get to see the romance of the next generation, and also getting to see those glimpses into the off-campus characters, not only the couple that are the parents of our heroine, but also some of the extended characters from the other books as well. So if you are a fan of the off-campus series, then definitely go into the next generation and read this one. And here we have a sports themed college romance, and both of our main characters are hockey players, which I really appreciated because we don't really get to see the heroine being the athlete as much. And not just that, but a hockey player. So I really appreciated that the main setup of how they start talking to each other is actually that he's helping her with her game. So I really like the dynamic and seeing her more than just a Nepo baby, basically, that had gotten on the team because of who her father was. So I could really appreciate the sports elements in this book a lot, and also them kind of having to find their footing. It is a very good coming of age story. Both of our main characters have plenty of things to go through. Our hero has a very tortured past that he has to also overcome, a lot of hang-ups. And obviously our heroine is just really trying to prove herself in her sport and kind of get out from under the shadow of her father. This is also a really steamy book and lighthearted and fun in a lot of ways, with plenty of sexual tension for days. Also, it is available on Kindle Unlimited. The next one is another secret society story. And this one is not a romance, but it does have that fantasy or magical element. So it is going to be my paranormal pick for the day. And it's Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. It's the first in the Alex Stern series. And Alex is our main character, our heroine. And she's 20 years old. She was raised in Los Angeles by this hippie mom. She dropped out of school early. And then she's had this slew of drug dealer boyfriends and just really hasn't been doing the best with her life until she ends up being the only survivor of a horrific unsolved homicide. While in the hospital, she is visited by this mysterious benefactor who offers her a second chance at life and a full ride to attend Yale. And her mission is basically to get information on the Yale Secret Society. She's left wondering why her and what is the catch, but she still follows through with what she needs to do, and she starts investigating and gathering information on these secret societies, and it turns out a lot more complicated than she was even imagining, because they're basically magical secret societies at Ivy League colleges. It's a story with power and intrigue and Ivy League elites and dark magic. I will warn you though that it is a slow-paced story, but it's very atmospheric and it does have very eerie vibes, mixing in perfectly that magic and intrigue allure of that underworld of the secret societies. And the last book that I have for you here is Brightside by Kim Holden. I'm gonna put out a full disclaimer here. This is going to be a tearjerker, so be prepared for when you want something really emotional that's going to tug at your heartstrings. It is such an amazing book. I absolutely loved it. And Brightside is basically our heroine, Katie. Katie is originally from California, but she ends up going to college in Minnesota. And when she gets there, she basically has to build a new life. She has to try to find a job and make new friends. She doesn't really know anybody in this new town. But as her friend from back home, Gus, always likes to call her Brightside, she immediately has a group of friends that absolutely adore her. She's so lovable. She's so positive. She just has an attitude of wanting to live life to the fullest, no regrets, and just have fun. And she's basically teaching that to anyone that she comes in contact with. And as she starts college, she's also starting to develop a romance and a relationship with this boy, Keller, who also has his own troubled past and secrets. But in the back of my mind, I still had her friend from back home, Gus. So there is a little bit of a love triangle going on. But rest assured, this is going to be just such a thought-provoking story. I think that everybody should read it. Just with the caveat that it will probably leave you a snotty crying mess at 3 o'clock in the morning, because that's what happened to me. I was actually sobbing so much. I ended up waking up my husband when I read this book, but I loved every second of it. It's a devastatingly beautiful and good story. So I hope that you pick it up. If you do, let me know when you need a hug. It is definitely a book that will also make you reflect on your own life experiences and appreciate those those little moments in life even more. And that's all the books that I have for you guys for today. I hope that you enjoyed them. And if you have any more recommendations to share with me, leave them in the comments. I always love to check out more books. And also you can find even more recommendations on the blog. Just go to underthecoversbookblog.com. We have almost any recommendation you want for any kind of theme or mood that you're in. Also sign up for our newsletter. That way you don't miss any of our content. We'll be in your inbox every single Sunday and let you know all of our latest book recommendations that we have. You can tune in to our podcast. We have new releases on the podcast every single Tuesday with our most anticipated books of the week. And also every Friday we have usually a book recommendations episode. And you can also tune in to our Novel Nights live show, just like the one where I share these recommendations. And that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on YouTube or our Facebook page. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys again in the next video. Bye!